Carl and Damon here from Games, Brrraains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short, and it's they made what into a TV series? Rayman, the animated show, the series, episode 4, big date, aired 10th of January 2000 and was never seen again. This is the final episode. 4 episodes. I suppose I'll repeat it here. It was cancelled before the 5th was completed. There you go. That's it. We talked about it in the very first episode 1 video. And this is it. We wanted to do a really short one after Viva Pinata season 1. And this popped up, looked at it and was like, hey, perfect. Episode 1.
Must be rating, surely.
But how can you judge rating after 4 shows?
Yeah,
you can't. It's got to be money. It's got to be money. Either it was like, this is not cost effective.
Or too much to make, you think? Or
yeah, like they started it and it either was not cost effective, realised it was costing them more, time. Of things. It could be literally something simple, which is they aired the first 4 or first 1 or 2 and we're like, no one's watching this shit. Yeah. So we continue on. In the flat above Grub, Cookie is trying to cook but needs to go to the store. Rayman confirms that Grub is going to work and I was like, oh, this is when I realised, oh, they know they're above here. And Rayman asked Bettina to take Cookie in her cab and I was like, what? When did that happen? So I mean, all this stuff, you're like, what the hell? Again, so you made this so unnecessarily confusing. Cookie refuses, fearing Grub is still at home. Bettina defends Grub, saying that he's just trying to do his job. So I was like, okay, they are trying to do this more sympathetic thing. And this episode would really, really hammer that home.
Yeah, definitely.
Raymond starts pacing the room, thinking when he trips over Lac-Mac. Lac-Mac suggests that they check by looking for a gap in the floorboards. Cookie invents a periscope that looks in the Grub's flat. And I was like, oh, that's just creepy, isn't it? That's got creepy. Don't be doing that. Bettina looks through it, sees that the place is a mess, and Grub arriving home with a bouquet of flowers. Bettina assumes Grub has a date with which Cookie mocks, and again she defends him. And I was like, Bettina's the date.
Yep.
I thought that's what they were going to do. Right? She's all like, oh, she's banging Grub now, isn't it? That's what this is. Raymond then realised that as Grub has a girlfriend, he'll be too busy to bother them. Okay. It turns out that Grub doesn't actually have a date. No, sorry, that's completely wrong. It turns out that, it's literally the opposite of what the episode is. It turns out that Grub does have a date as he starts cleaning his house, putting dinner on, and even tidying himself up. Grub's date arrives and he's immediately awkward with her. Really awkward. Funnily awkward. It goes from bad to worse though as he keeps knocking her over and ends up burning dinner. This, again, was ignoring this sort of overarching story. The actual fluff of the episode is entertaining.
It is,
You know? After getting tangled up with a cable, he ends up tripping up and dropping all the food, heading back into the kitchen dejected. Feeling sorry for Grub, Raymond suggests helping him out despite being his enemy, much to Cookie's annoyance. I'm on Cookie's side, mate. After Grub accidentally breaks his date's nose with a bottle cap, she storms into the bathroom to fix it while Grub sulks. Initiating her plan, Raymond deliberately sets off the fire alarm and hides behind the door as Grub comes into the kitchen. This gives Raymond, Bettina and Flips the chance to tidy up the living room. As Grub comes back into the dining room with his date, Raymond, Bettina and Flips sneak back into the kitchen and obviously see Grub's awful attempt at cooking. With help of Cookie and Lac-Mac, they prepare a secret feast, but Lac-Mac clumsily drops the plates and breaks them, attracting Grub's attention. So there's all sort of hijink silliness here. Grub goes into the kitchen just as Raymond and his friends go out. Grub then sees the feast on the table and takes it to his date as Raymond watches from above. Grub, you're not going to wonder where the food came from? I would be like, I'd be like, that's weird. However, Grub ends up tying the tablecloth to his neck, and when he gets up, he accidentally pulls the tablecloth off the table. He's quite adorable. This makes a huge mess, and Grub's date storms at the house. However, Raymond, in a last-ditch effort to save Grub's happy evening, poses as a singing telegram and delivers flowers and a romantic message from Grub asking her to the movies. The date then phones Grub and excitedly agrees to take so that he can take it to the cinema the following day, and Grub is happy and so on. So they did a nice thing for him.
Yeah.
It's fun. Like the previous episode,
Yep.
and like everything but the first episode, I think, it's fun. The fluff of the episode is entertaining.
Yeah.
It's just, it's hard to get invested.
Yeah.
I mean, we already knew this was the finale, so there was no real investment. I guess I was kind of hoping to see a clue watching this, to see if I could find a clear clue as to why maybe this didn't get renewed.
Or if they already knew.
Or why it was cancelled.
Yeah.
Not so much if you already knew where you thought we might get a finale already. No, not with a cancellation. Not with a mid-season cancellation. How would you? They're not going to tell you, oh, by the way, you're just going to be told, yeah, no. It's not
what I mean, because obviously they've clearly left it open for obviously the next episode.
Yeah. It would continue. There was supposed to be 26. There was supposed that was what was planned.
Yeah.
So we're 21 short. That's quite a hefty. No, 22 short, should I say? There's quite a hefty amount. Presumably there were scripts written and stuff like that, at least for some of it. But yeah, the end result is this is it. And I was entertained, but I'm not wowed.
No.
I will like Donkey Kong and Viva Pinata, aside from having a memory of doing it from these videos, eventually this will fade. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I did watch that. And maybe I'll remember how it looked, but I won't remember much else.
And then you can go watch it all again.
Unlikely, I think. But there's not really been anything else about Rayman, really. So, yeah, that's kind of it. There's not really a lot to say. As we did each episode, we've kept short in the videos as well, because it's just an okay show, but there's no substance, and it just is what it is. We wanted to cover it as much to give ourselves a break, but part of me is like, maybe we need a break from the computer animated stuff. I don't know. It's hard because we know when it comes to TV series, particularly in the short form one, we do have quite a lot to go back to, but it's errors and it's intrigue, and this seemed like a nice stopgap because it was short. Instead of being 4 or 5 seasons of the same thing, more than anything else. I would have liked to see more from this show, I think.
At least half a season to judge it, I think.
Yeah, I think a little bit more, because we don't really have anything else to go on beyond it looked alright for the time. The voice acting was pretty strong. The characters were intriguing. The world seemed interesting.
Yep.
The theme song was unmemorable.
Yeah.
The overarching story of Rigatoni, presumably there would be episodes where that, like with Pester. Where not every episode is about Pester, but Pester is there all the time, kind of thing,
I'm sure there'll be episodes where one
Rigatoni Razorbeard,
one will get captured, and stuff like that.
Expand upon the world of the town. It could have been stuff. It probably could have been, and it likely would have eventually lost the consistency, and probably would have just been standalone episodes set within the town, which wouldn't have been as enjoyable for us.
Yeah.
But for now, that is episode 4, the big date, the finale of the early Rayman animated TV series, show, whatever you want to call it. What do you reckon? And what do you think of the 4 episodes overall? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website, where reviews, news, and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at GBHBL. Just search for GBHBL and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.